you. Nigeria is an agricultural nation. We are endowed with a lot of land and rich soil for agriculture. Decades ago, before oil was discovered, petroleum was discovered, we depended 100% on agriculture. And the western part of Nigeria was rich in cocoa, produced a lot of cocoa. The eastern part produced a lot of oil palm, and the northern part produced a lot of grains, groundnuts, and so on, tubers. And wealth was created through agriculture. A lot of development, building of roads, and all sorts of infrastructure came from wealth created in agriculture. But as we discovered oil in the early 60s, 1960s, attention turned from agriculture to oil. And less and less attention was paid to agriculture. More attention on oil exports. Oil was more or less providing 100% of the revenue for the nation. But over the years, with the downturn in both the production and the oil price, we have gone into economic recession. And therefore, attention has been turned to alternative sources of income. And the natural thing to turn to is agriculture. So currently, Nigeria's attention is focused in agriculture, in developing agriculture, in promoting agriculture, and in making sure that most of our resources, or most of our revenue, come from agriculture. And that has brought in diversification. There's diversifying from oil to non-oil resources. And so currently, the budget for 2018, 60% of the revenue, over 60% is expected to come from non-oil resources, and the bulk of that is from agriculture. And that tells you that attention has now been focused on agriculture because of the competitive advantage we have in agriculture, because of what agriculture will do, provide massive employment for the teeming youth of the population. We provide food and remove hunger. It will provide wealth. So agriculture is now the focus, and it's already yielding results, because the first quarter of this year, the bulk of the income the country got was from non-oil resources, primarily from agricultural export. So that's the history, and that's where we are now. We see it going to 5% and even beyond, because there's a lot of investment in agriculture now. Credit is being provided. The youths are moved into agriculture. A lot of non-government organizations and the private sector's attention is diverted to agriculture. There's a lot of credit available through the central bank and through deposit banks. And the policy of government has made agriculture to boom. So I see this increasing with time. The GDP contribution from agriculture will continue to rise, And I believe that is welcome. That is what we want. And because most of our people live in rural areas, agriculture is the answer, is the solution to a lot of our problems in terms of providing jobs, in terms of addressing crime, in terms of addressing hunger and nutrition challenges. So I see that improving. I see the interest of government. Very often when government creates the enabling environment, people move into agriculture. And therefore an enabling environment has been provided. The marketing is made, the markets are opened up for exports. Ministry of Agriculture is aggressively promoting food exports. And that really, I believe, is what is needed. The government policy is right, the environment is right, and people are, motivated to go into agriculture. So I see it going even beyond 5% in the years ahead.